Today is a very special episode. We are not only launching season 3 of the podcast, but we are also doing it in a whole new way, a new chapter, the Bali edition. Doing it in this sacred line that is full of energy, full of awakening and new beginnings. New chapter, deeper transformation, embodied inspiration. And I couldn't think of a better person to start this season than with Anmol Mohanty, a powerful woman, career and life transition strategist, and well-being speaker, host of the Shoot to Soul podcast, who walks her talk when it comes to living by design and with intention. In today's episode, we touch into a topic that I know will inspire many of us, and is how can we start living a life in more alignment, personal truth, and real purpose, away from the autopilot and what we've been conditioned. We speak into the courage of what it really takes to step into a life of full purpose, of inner work, and a life that is in alignment from the inside out. So let's drop in. So, Anmol, let's start with your own turning point. Was there a moment in your life where you realized this can be it? I'm sure there's something more of life out there for me. What was that awakening for you, and what was the whole transition?
Oof, that's such a powerful question. Yes, yes, yes. How many yeses should I say? Yeah, for sure. So if I think about my life in London, uh, let's say 3 years ago, I was at a point where life looked incredible, perfect life. I had the fancy job. I was climbing up the ladder in tech, so very well paid. Had a beautiful community, an amazing social circle, great colleagues, fabulous lifestyle. The London kind of lifestyle that people dream of. But actually, no, that what a lot of people would say that was a perfect life wasn't really perfect. Like on the outside, it looked incredible, right? From what I've shared, people were, obviously this is amazing. But no, it actually wasn't. My own personal story, so my personal reality then was I was miserable, severely burnt out, depressed because of that. And it all was because I was living a by default life. And it was me living on autopilot because I had built all these things and achieved all these different things and had a fabulous life. But it didn't really give me what I needed, or it didn't align with what I desired for myself and like my values. Yes.
Wow, yeah.
My life back then, yes.
Yes, I can imagine that was like a powerful moment of awareness where you kind of like were in this transition from getting ready to let go of those old parts of yourself and those identities that were no longer in alignment with that new life that you were feeling cold, right? Within yourself, and not yet really understanding what was this new identity for you. So I would love for you to share with the audience, what do you think was that inner drive that awakened that awareness in you? Like, what was that thing that you said, okay, this is not the life that I would like to have? The first question. And if you can explain in real simple words, what's the meaning for you of living by default?
Yeah, sure. So I guess for the first bit, like what was like the alarm for, like, this is not it. It was just how my life felt, because on the outside, or just how it looked, was amazing. Right?
Yeah.
But
We've been there.
But how it felt was not amazing.
Yeah.
So it's the disconnect there. Like, it looks incredible, but it doesn't feel incredible.
Wow.
Why?
Wow. And so many of us feel this way.
Right? Don't we?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
The mismatch is crazy. So that was what was like the indicator of, right, this is not for me, something's wrong, or something is not matching.
Yeah.
Something needs to change, essentially.
Yeah.
And I guess what I mean when I say living by default is essentially, living without intention, right? So what I said, like, everything I'd achieved, I'd achieved a lot. So in my life, I've achieved a lot.
Yeah.
But I think it weren't it weren't uh, until that moment that I actually started living on purpose, with purpose,
Yeah.
and like with intention. When everything, I know why I'm doing everything, instead
Yeah.
of just closing my eyes and just, okay, right, Anmol, she's gonna be the top of class, and she's gonna
Yeah.
be the,
Director
the
of a
distinction of
company.
like, yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
like she's
yeah.
gonna do her undergrad, she's gonna do her masters, and she's
Yeah.
gonna get herself into this fabulous
Yeah.
role in tech and be in tech for forever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And like go on, like climb the ladder. But actually, like, is this what I want?
Yeah.
Not really. So if I think back to that life,
Yeah.
I was really good at what I did, and like tech is known to be very well paid, and it's reputed, well known and all of that.
Yeah.
But like, yes, I was great at it, yes, I was getting great money and all of that, but actually I was not fulfilled.
And so, what was that thing for you that did you identify in that moment? What was the lack of fulfillment? What was missing? What was the missing piece for you?
So if I think back to that part of life, I guess, it was lack of impact. Because I personally am the kind of person who needs to have meaningful impact, at least when it comes to what I do.
Yeah.
So if I think about everything in my life then, I had everything other than like, I do well-being speaking, and like I focus on well-being, and there are different aspects of well-being.
Yes.
All aspects of my life back then were 10 on 10,
Yeah.
other than occupational well-being, and that is like what my work was not giving me that fulfillment and satisfaction, because it was not meaningful for me.
Yeah.
Or to me.
Yeah. Wow. That's really powerful, because I feel like
Yeah.
I resonate with a lot of your story, and I think a lot of people who are looking to live a more purposeful life and
Yeah.
fulfilling life start to ask those questions.
Yeah.
So this is, powerful conversations where we can guide people
Yeah.
on where to start. So
Yes.
the question will be, if someone is going through the exact situation as you right now, where they have the awareness, okay, this is no longer in alignment, because that's a moment of friction,
Yep.
of contradiction, right?
Yep.
Like, I built all this life, I spent all these years,
Doing.
money, time, energy,
Yes, of
doing,
course.
achieving, studying, and now I'm in this point where I'm like, oh, wait a minute, it's actually, every time I reach that point, it never feels enough. So
Yeah.
what would you say is 3 simple steps where people can start on that journey to living a more fulfilling and purposeful life,
Yeah.
aligned with their truth?
I think, and this, I always say this to everyone, but especially my clients, but like every time, is first slowing down. I think we don't slow down so don't pause to reflect on how things are going.
Yeah.
So like, even with the kind of work I do, right? I start off my coaching with, okay, we're here, let's pause. How is life?
Yeah.
And like, essentially look at all the aspects of their life to know where they're at right now, what is going well, and what's not going well. The things that are going well, they will know, and the things that are not going well, they will know.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah. So
Love
it's
that.
essentially pausing first of
Yeah,
all,
I
to
love
realize, to essentially reflect on how life is looking and how life is feeling. Most importantly.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm getting also from, your powerful story, Anmol, and how you, transition into a more purposeful life,
Yeah.
from tech, from corporate, from a 9 to 5, from achieving, is
Yeah.
the power of embodiment.
Yeah.
So because of the feeling, that word that you said there was like, okay, let's go into that, let's dive a little bit deeper. So what will be for you that embodiment? Why is so important in order to slow down and to really access our truth and our alignment, to do the embodiment work? And what is the embodiment work for you?
When I think about embodiment, I think it's about, well, there are 2 sides of this, right? First, being in the now, and being in the present, right?
Yeah.
So even when I was sharing, the first thing I think about or I share is actually pause.
Yes.
It's like, okay, stop.
Yeah.
And see and feel and look at how
Yeah.
everything is. So like being in the present,
Yeah.
the biggest one.
Love that.
If I think back to my life in this big smoke, the city,
Yeah.
I was not present. Like I've spoken to so many people. Like even when I did like an Asia trip before I made my whole 50,000 changes.
Yeah.
And being in Asia is what made me realize I'm so much more present here than I was ever in London.
Oh, wow.
And when I went back, I tried to still embody that, like that person, that identity who stays in the present, but it wasn't possible because,
Yeah.
unconsciously you just
fast
go
pace.
back to the fast pace, hustle,
Yeah.
hustle, hustle, go, 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 go.
Yeah. Actually, I love this part. I
Yeah.
love all this because that takes me to how like environments
Impact us
are
so
so
much.
right
Important,
impact
yeah.
are so important.
Underrated, so underrated.
Oh my God, I know. And one thing that came to my mind right now when we were having that conversation was when we're trying to like transition to a more purposeful, fulfilling life in truth.
Yeah.
A lot of the times life will test us to bring us back to
Yeah.
those environments where we will adopt those roles.
Yeah.
Where we will be in the fast pace,
Yeah, sure.
disconnected,
Yeah.
living by default,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Instead
yeah,
of
yeah.
actually, oh, wait a minute,
Exactly.
let me take a step back, let me
Yeah.
slow down,
Yeah.
tuning into my body. How do
Exactly.
I really feel?
Yeah.
Is this goal, this dream, my dream? What my parents wanted?
Exactly.
What I heard from society I should do?
Exactly.
So at the end, I feel like an important message that we can leave to the community and anyone that is listening to us
Yeah.
is the importance of listening to yourself, to your soul, to your heart.
Yes.
What do you want? There's no one single template of
Yeah.
living life, right?
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
we all been conditioned.
Yeah.
I mean, we both grew up in different cultures, but we can see that the similarities in that
Yes.
template,
Yeah.
go to school, go
Yeah.
to uni, go
Yeah.
to your master's, get married, have kids. And
Yeah.
look at us here now living in Bali after achieving. And by the way, I didn't know
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
also, my background is also tech.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so many
Yeah.
similarities with all like the people that we're meeting in
Yeah.
Bali and people that are awakening to this life. And it's
Yeah.
not that we are dropping our
Yes,
dreams of
no.
what we did. It's actually
It's
how
rather
can
the
we-
opposite.
the
We're picking
opposite.
it up.
Yeah.
Like, fine now. It's my
Exactly.
turn.
Yeah. Like living
Yeah.
life on your terms
Yeah.
and integrating
Yes.
all the skills and all the
Yeah.
all what you've
exactly.
learned. Because I feel like before I ask you the next question, one thing that I've noticed when I speak to people that are ready to take this journey that we are on from
Yeah.
corporate living by default is,
Yeah.
but what about all the time and money that I spent all these years in my studies, in my career? It's like, don't worry, that's gonna be part of the journey. There's a
course.
reason why you
course.
studied, you went through that. So it's all
Yeah.
an integrated journey, right?
Always. And I think what you've just mentioned, I've heard that again and again, right? It's like,
Yeah.
and I see it actually with people that I work, I see that a lot. It's like the resistance to even commit to the next chapter or this next path
Yeah.
is actually the time spent, the money spent, the effort, the energy that's spent on those years, those things.
Yeah.
But actually, if you think about it, like this is one of the reframes I give is,
Yeah.
would you rather still continue doing that?
Yeah.
And just because, you spent, I don't know, 10 years in a path,
Yeah.
right? Would you still rather be in the wrong path because you spent, like, would you want to spend the next 10 years
Still in the wrong one? Yeah.
still in the wrong
Yeah.
one because you spent the last 10 years
Yeah,
in the
wrong
it's like,
one.
no. It's
Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
it's going to take you, like what? Doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
God. It's
yeah.
going to take you longer to
Yeah.
make change than, yeah.
Yeah, and
Rabbit
I think
hole.
like yeah, exactly, and I think that's an important question even to us, to anyone who is listening or watching us,
Yeah.
is would you rather make the change right now,
Yeah.
knowing that everything that you've gone through so far is part of the journey,
Yeah.
is gonna be compounded, is gonna be
Yes.
integrated,
Yeah.
but trust that call.
Yes.
And so the last thing I will say there is that the discomfort that comes up when the
Yeah.
awareness
Yes.
has been awakened,
Yeah.
is the sign that you are ready to take on that journey, because
Yeah.
a lot of the times we humans are adverse to discomfort.
Yeah.
And we think that discomfort means there's something wrong with me or with the path or what I'm
Yeah.
doing. It's
Yeah.
actually not.
Yeah.
Lean into the discomfort,
Yeah.
lean into those emotions, and
Yeah.
allow the path to unfold. So yeah, I think that that's kind of like one thing. What's another tip that you will say to people on how they can navigate that transition in a more compassionate way by doing the inner work? Like, what would be your main tip when it comes to doing the inner work to living a purposeful and fulfilling life?
Well, I guess the most important thing, I mean, what even is inner work? Let's start there. But
Yeah.
like the most
Love
important
that.
thing
Yeah.
is to first know yourself. Like
Yeah.
the work that I do, and I've done this myself as well, right? So I guess in ways I am embodied
Yeah.
in the work that I do.
Yeah.
But essentially knowing yourself, like
Yeah.
if we are not even, if we don't even have an awareness of what we are,
Yeah.
what we desire, what we value, how can we even shape our embodied, like fulfilling, aligned life? Like if I don't even know my values are honesty, alignment, authenticity,
Yeah.
my life, each and everything I do is that. Because if not, there is going to be friction.
Yeah.
Why are you surprised?
Yeah, exactly.
So essentially, understand the big inner work is understanding our own self.
Yeah, I love
Because
that.
our inner world
Yeah.
reflects our outer world. So
exactly. So you will
it's
say that,
unraveling the inner world to unravel the outer world.
yeah, to mirror that relationship that we
Exactly.
have with that. So would you say that then self-identity work, and like we can call it part of the inner work, is the first step into this
Sure.
journey?
Yeah. Self-discovery is pretty much that. Like, for sure. Like, how can you even shape or design a new path or new, more aligned, more fulfilling path if you don't even understand what's important, what truly matters to you?
Yeah, I love that. I think that's very important because
Yeah.
that at the end anchors you into the journey,
Exactly.
right? Keeps
Especially
you.
when things are hard, because
Yeah.
it is a roller coaster.
It
We're
is.
not denying that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We
But like,
cannot get off. No, no,
yeah, it's like
no matter how many times you ask the universe, God, whatever you believe in, like, get me out of here, it doesn't happen. Yeah,
it's
don't
like
worry.
you chose this life.
You chose it, like, go through it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
kind of like how we learn to hold ourselves through that journey
Yeah.
by anchoring into ourselves, our values, our
Yeah.
non-negotiables, and our
Yes.
why, which is at the end, I guess,
Exactly.
the intention, right?
Yeah.
So looking at your own journey and how all this amazing transformation happened, can you take us to how you ended up here in Bali?
Yes.
Living this
Oh my
life?
God.
Yeah.
Where do I start?
Yeah,
Yes,
oh my
of
God,
course.
hours here. Talking.
It's like 50,000 centuries later.
See you next year.
Yeah. So I mean, after I went through that, wobble,
Yeah.
big wobble. I came to Asia actually. So funny thing, and I guess this is something I want to mention. When one is going through that, it's so important to step back, as I said, but like I needed to take myself out of my normal life to think straight and reconnect to myself and reconnect to my own values. So what I said about like the self-discovery bit, I was reconnecting to myself in Asia after I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. Like it came to a point where I was like, it can't get any worse. It really did. It was like, I'm laughing about this now, but back then it was super bad.
So the breaking point.
Exactly. So I trained to be a coach. So I'm an ICF certified coach. I'd done a lot of mentoring and like consultancy work. So I had done client facing work before, and I actually got myself a coach. God bless that coach.
Yes,
because
please do. Yeah.
seriously, I was held back then when I was going through everything that I was going through. And that is what made me become a coach, because I would not have had the courage and even in ways capacity to do what I did if I didn't feel held the way I did. So then I trained to be a coach. And well, I started off with well-being coaching because I was in the deep end of shit.
Yeah.
And I've come to the point that I do transition coaching because it was that it was like, okay, I will hold
Yeah,
you.
like
So I was
holding,
like,
yeah.
okay, now I want to do the whole thing for people.
Yeah.
That made me change my career
Yeah.
dramatically. I used to do PM, marketing. So from all the project management, product management,
Wow, we
marketing.
did the same job.
Amazing.
Wow.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Now, I was like, right, we're going to move away from that career and actually do something more meaningful and impactful, which is what was the missing piece in my career.
Yeah, the impact. I
The
love
impact,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
So then I trained to be a coach, and well, whilst I was in Asia, I realized I actually don't want to be in London anymore because it was very fast paced, and I don't want that fast paced life anymore.
Yeah.
And I mean, I grew up in Fiji. Why are we surprised?
Yeah,
Like, why are
exactly.
we surprised that I
Yeah.
don't want the fast paced life?
Yeah.
So that's how I decided to move away from London, and well, Bali happened very. It was meant to happen, I guess, but Bali wasn't the plan.
Yeah.
The plan was actually to move to Lisbon
Yeah.
after London.
Yeah.
But I came here for a holiday, and I was like, oh my god, I feel so connected to this place, and really everything that I was seeking in Lisbon was what I actually accidentally found here.
Wow.
And I just kept coming and coming back. And I was like, who are we kidding? Let's try this out. Let's
Yeah.
try this life out.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been over 1.5 years now.
Oh my God. So it's basically what everyone says here, which is a cliche. I don't know if you guys have
It is a
heard of
cliche,
it.
yeah.
But the land calls you.
It does.
Do you feel?
I 100% believe in it. Like, it's
Wow.
like if it accepts you,
Yeah.
I'll call you in.
And
you'll
prepare
stay.
for what comes.
Oh, I mean, it gives you what you need.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, even if you
Yeah.
don't want it, it will give you
Yeah.
what you need.
Yeah.
But I completely agree. Like, if you're being welcomed, you get welcomed in a way that you just don't leave.
Yeah, I love
But
that. Yeah.
if it's not for you, and if it doesn't welcome you, you're out of here like ASAP.
Oh my God, I know. I've been through that
Yeah.
those transitions, and it's like quantum leaps in,
Oh.
on speed.
Yes.
So with
Yeah.
there was this word that really resonated with me and stood for me
Yeah.
in this conversation was impact,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
when you think about impact for you, what was the feeling you were trying to feel by having more impact in life?
So I mean, so the work that I was doing, right? And this is my corporate work.
Yeah.
In tech. Let's focus on in tech.
Yeah,
Emphasize tech.
Male dominated industry as
Well, let's not go there, but we can go there. But not even that bit.
Not even.
I'm not even focusing on that bit. But
Yeah.
essentially, the fact that it wasn't having direct impact on people. Like the work that I do now, and the work that I've done in mentoring, volunteering, that experiences that I have done in my life, you have direct impact on someone.
Yeah.
And now, each and every time I get anybody, my client, anybody I've worked with, anybody, express something about how my work has helped them, I can see with my eyes the direct impact I'm having on them. And it like to this day, I'm a very emotional person. I'm a softie, a bit of too much of a softie. So like it still warms my heart. Like. Deeply, like to the point that I still can't explain how it makes me feel. But I didn't have that. So the biggest thing is like the word, when I say impact, I mean direct impact on one's life. I don't care what tech I'm helping build, and that's gonna make I don't know who millionaires, even more millions. It's like I don't care about that.
Yeah, I love that. It's something so deep in that is sometimes even hard to explain in words, because I can totally feel the energy of what you're saying, and that's what is most important. So for you, when we are talking about this like impact and just seeing the transformation that we are like providing in people, why do you think that's important to you?
To bring impact. Ooh.
and to transform people's lives in the way you are doing it?
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Like, why even is this a question? Like, why not?
Yeah.
Why do I have to choose?
Yeah.
Why the heck not? Like,
Yeah.
yes, there are people going off doing, serving millionaires who are making more millions.
Yeah.
But like, why do we have to choose
Yeah.
that, and why not this? So like, what you just asked, like, why not?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I think
I
like,
get to.
I love that.
Like,
And
I get,
think,
like, I choose to do this kind of thing, Like,
it's
like,
in your soul's path, I
Oh,
guess.
for
Like
sure.
it's part of your values,
For
right?
sure, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think like one thing I will add for me, it was like just how the like witnessing people's transformation and how that will impact their lives will create ripple effects
Always.
into their lives and
Yeah.
into my life. Like I
Yeah.
started noticing how just living in full purpose,
Yes.
which is what we came here to do,
Yeah.
started impacting everything around me and living a life more like my emotional states started to become more stable and fulfilling just because I was in full alignment with what I came here to do.
Yeah.
So for someone who is starting that journey of learning or discovering their purpose,
Yeah.
what will be your advice or your tips on how to discover your purpose?
Well, it starts from what we were saying before, right? It starts from self-discovery.
Yeah.
Because to know what you're here for, here to do, here to know how you want to serve, or what you're here to do, essentially, like your purpose. You need to first know yourself, but also through that process of self-discovery, you realize what's important. So, impactful work is a non-negotiable for me. Right? I had everything, but did that matter? Nah.
Exactly. Who were
It's
you
like-
impacting? Who are we impacting?
Exactly.
We are making the millionaires more millionaires.
Exactly. It's
and
like,
we might
sure,
be
like,
pointless for say this, but we don't care.
I mean, I still want to be a millionaire, sure.
Of course, why not?
Why not? But
the
like,
problem is not that, right?
But yeah, the problem exactly isn't that. It's like, it's actually about having impact on one.
Yeah.
For me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess starting there, and that will help one figure out how they want to show up.
Yeah.
In their day-to-day, in their lives, around people they love, around people, just...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, noticing what lies their soul and...
Yes,
and
oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Freaking yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Like,
What makes them feel alive.
Exactly, like what
Yeah.
energizes you is the biggest...
Yeah.
biggest determining factor.
Yeah. And
Like,
one
it's
thing
like indicator, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. Oh,
Yeah.
I couldn't agree
100%.
more.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
follow that momentum. Follow those things
Always.
that when you're doing them,
Yeah.
you completely lose track of time.
Exactly.
You're completely in the flow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's always easy.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yes.
it's always effortless and easy. Whenever
Yeah.
it's like in that flow state,
Yeah.
it's for a reason.
Exactly.
There's
and
a reason.
sometimes what happens is like you will experience that resistance and contraction. Take a step back, like go for a walk, like do something that you love and go back to it. Like it's not like we always need to be in that state because we need
sure.
balance, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that part. And the last thing that I will add into like the purpose and how we can come to that truth for ourselves is don't wait until you are ready because the answers
I have
are
so much to say.
yeah the
so
answers get unfolded on
Yes.
on the journey. Like
completely
focus
agree.
on the now. One thing you can do right now and let the rest unfold.
Yes.
Like when we look at the whole picture and the whole thing that we want to create, we get overwhelmed because we, of course, humans are prompted to live, like feel safe in the certainty.
Yeah.
And all this journey is about getting comfortable in the uncertainty and surrendering to your journey. So how can people start that journey is focusing one day at a time and doing one thing today and letting the rest unfold. What would you say about that specific? You said like, I have so many things to say. So I'm curious. I'm curious.
It's like, I completely agree. You got to start before you're ready. Whatever is ready. What is ready?
What is ready? It's an illusion.
I completely agree. It's like ready is when you feel safe.
Exactly.
Or like when you think you are safe.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
But I agree because it's actually committing to yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Like, we all want to have all the clarity and have all the answers away before we do anything, but that's not how life works,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But it's about like committing to yourself,
Yeah.
and committing to your journey. And as you said, like, right, it is that, like, you take one step, the next step unravels, and
Yeah.
you take that next step, the third one
Yeah.
unravels.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how it goes. Like, you just
Yeah.
have to take the next step.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about the whole entire life trajectory.
Yeah. My whole transformation. I'm gonna.
I mean, that can change. That will
Yeah.
change, because like when I first moved to London
Yeah.
from Fiji,
Yeah.
my first thought was like, I'm never gonna move. This is where I'm gonna settle down. 8 years later, I was like, I'm done.
Wow.
So like that changes, right?
We
like
change. Yeah.
we evolve, things change.
That's right.
It's like you have to be in the moment. Goes back to being in the moment and being
Yeah.
honoring of our evolution as people.
Yeah, love that. Love that. It's
Yeah.
also kind of like learning to accept our changes, and that
yes,
sometimes
yes.
can be so challenging and powerful, because it's learning to let go of people, of environments, or jobs, identities, friendships, places. So it's really a journey that, for me, and I would love to know your thoughts and perspective, is, for me, it was all about the inner work. The more I build that safety and security within myself, that no matter what will happen, I will have my back, and I will process, like, I will go through anything together, because mistakes will happen. Mistakes. I don't really believe
in that.
I don't believe in mistakes. It all happens in a way
reason.
for us to evolve.
Yeah.
That's when I started, I'm going to take the next step and the next step.
Yeah.
So how do you see, like, that surrendering and holding ourselves through the journey? What will be your perspective on that?
I love what you said, and I agree to that. I think it's a matter of trust, self-trust.
Yeah.
And like trust in the journey and the process, but self-trust most importantly, because
Yeah.
it's exactly what you said, and I empathize with that emotion of, I have unwavering trust in myself that whatever happens, I got myself.
Yeah.
I got my back. I will do what needs to be done to keep myself safe and, figure things out.
Yeah, I love
yeah.
that. I love this conversation, Anmol, and I know we can stay here forever, but
We really can.
just to wrap up,
Yeah.
I know that, I know, most people have heard this concept of, the journey is not linear.
Yes.
And we go through many different transitions and changes.
Yeah.
So how can people learn to hold themselves through this journey, which is, it brings with all the duality and all the resistance, because we are challenging the ego as well.
Yeah.
What would be the best way to transition into that new life and moving away from that living by default?
Well, it's like we've talked about all this, right? Like starting off with pausing and the act of self-discovery and realization of what truly matters to ourselves, so that we can shape that more aligned life, right? But like what we were talking about, like from a self-trusting way and like committing even it's like self-committing. I don't even know if that's a word, or I can make that a word, but essentially it is. But it is that, like, you are committing to yourself, like, and committing to and trusting that whatever unravels, or whatever you realize who you are or what matters to you, you trust yourself to take the actions that will help you lead that life and build that whatever that life is, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So like for me, taking the example of like impactful work was a big non-negotiable. I did that. I trained, moved around a lot of things in life. And did my whole 180, but it's because I committed to this journey and committed to myself, and I trusted, you know what? Yes, there's a lot of up and down, but I trust myself to know what I need, what I want, what I desire, and to act on that.
Love that.
I think that's the bit, like taking aligned actions is the bit, like committing to it and then just taking aligned action for whatever that life is.
And trusting that, that aligned action is just coming from that momentum, like
course.
from that soul or heart when you are aligned with that.
Always.
Thank you so much for being in the
Thank
podcast
you
today.
for having me.
Our first in-person podcast. Wow.
Yes, we did
will
it.
show the behind the scenes for you guys.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
It's
But
been
yeah, I love
amazing.
doing this
Thank
episode
you
with
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much. So how can people contact you?
Well, they can find me everywhere.
Yeah.
But they can find me on Instagram or LinkedIn at Anmol Mohanty, my name.
Yeah.
They can find me on my website too. It's pretty much that, anmolmohanty.com.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm on the social medias,
Yeah,
the
love
platforms, and all over.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so
Anmol.
much. Aww.
Okay.